All right, Bahamas, this one could be long. Let me tell you how long this one could be, Bahamas. This one could be so long that it could be a part 1 and a part 2 next Sunday. That's how long this one could be, Bahamas. We got a lot to talk about today. And let me tell you what we're talking about today. Today, we're talking about our Haitian brothers and sisters. We got to talk about the Haitians living in the Bahamas and how we're treating the Haitians living in the Bahamas. Now, Bahamas, how is it possible that Bahamians think they better than Haitians? That don't make no sense. See, I gotta talk about this. I was supposed to talk about this from a long time and I never got around to it. And what did God say? God said, what you do for the least of these, you've done it for me. So I gotta talk about the most impoverished. I gotta talk about the most underserved class of citizens in the Bahamas. I gotta talk about our Haitian brothers and sisters. And why? Because God hates hypocrites. We call ourselves a Christian nation, yet we think we better than Haitians. That don't make no sense. Bahamas, when you go in the Bible, God never called anybody a murderer. I never heard Jesus call somebody a murderer. I've never heard Jesus call somebody an adulterer. In fact, they caught a woman in adultery and he still forgave her. And he didn't call her an adulterer. But in the New Testament, 16 times, God called the people hypocrites. God couldn't stand hypocrites. Jesus couldn't stand hypocrites. He said, when you fast, don't be like the hypocrites. He said, when you pray, don't be like the hypocrites. He said, in fact, if your brother has something in his eye, go first take something out your own eye, you hypocrite. Before you can go and see clearly, they go take something out your brother's eye. That's how much God hated hypocrites. And we's a bunch of hypocrites in this country, so we got to go to work today. So this one A for the sensitive. If you sensitive, cut your TV off now. Because this one can go deep. Because we got to talk about the fact that we call ourselves a Christian nation, yet we think we better than Haitians. I ain't never seen nothing like that in my life. You know what? Let me just start because I keep on running on. I don't want to run on today. Let me say a prayer. We can jump into Matthew chapter 19 and I can warm y'all up. I gotta warm y'all up to show the hypocrisy of this country. Then we getting into that. So God, pray that you may bless us. God is protect us. And help us in all things, Heavenly Father, to remember that from dirt we came and from dirt we going back. And we ain't better than nobody. In Jesus Christ's name we pray. Amen. All right, let's go to work. We're in Matthew chapter 19. So this is what we can do in this episode. I can read the scariest passage in the Bible for Bahamians. I can interpret this for you. Because we got to talk about how we treat our Haitian brothers and sisters. It don't make no sense. So I can read the scariest passage in the Bible for Bahamians. And I can work our way to talking about how we think we better than Haitians. Now watch this, Bahamas. Follow me. And we're in Matthew chapter 19, starting at verse 16. And listen to this. And behold, one came and said unto Jesus, Good Master, what good thing shall I do that I may enter into eternal life? So picture it like this. Let me interpret this for you. So a Bahamian came to Jesus. And you know what the Bahamian say to Jesus? Say, Lord, I don't want to go hell. I don't want to go to hell. Oh, Lord, save me from hell. Ain't no ductless in hell. Ain't no ductless air conditioning in hell. And God knows it's not so hot. So I can't go to hell. That's how you can interpret that. So it say, Lord, good master, what shall we do to enter into eternal life? And the Bahamian said, Lord, what I gotta do from going to hell? Because I can't take the seat no more. Not for eternity. And listen to what Jesus said. And Jesus said to him, Why callest thou me good? There is none good but one, that is God. But if thou wilt enter into life, keep my commandments. So I'll interpret that for you. So what Jesus basically was saying to the Bahamian is this. Buddy, if you want to get in up pearly gates, listen good now. If you want to get in up pearly gates, stop doing fool. That's what God was saying when he said, keep the commandments if you want to enter into life. That's the same thing as saying, if you want to get in up pearly gates, because that's entering into life. Stop doing fool. That's keeping the commandments. All right. Let's continue on. I tell you, I bring this back home. I got to bring this back home to my people. So the Bahamian, so listen to what the Bahamian said to Jesus. So he saith unto Jesus, which commandment? And Jesus said unto him, and this is the scariest part, is I can break each one of these down for us. And Jesus said unto him, thou should do no murder, thou should not commit adultery, thou should not steal, thou should not bear false witness. Now, Bahamas, this one can go deep. Let's start off with the first one, because I can talk about our hypocritical ways. Then we get into how bad we treat the Haitians. I get into that in a minute. So what's the first thing? Because see, we talking about heaven and hell now. This is a serious topic. I may crack some jokes, but this one's serious. We're talking about heaven and hell. And I don't want none of my people to go to hell for lack of, I don't want none of my people to go to hell for lack of knowledge. So we can educate ourselves now. So the first commandment Jesus said, thou should not commit murder. Let's talk about that. Now, Bahamas, I'm going to talk with the murder rate. Because Pookie and Bobo, they just get abused and they just get the pointed finger at for too many things. But that ain't the real murder rate in the country. I can talk with Pookie and Bobo. Forget about that. We bleeding up for too many things. So we can talk with the murder rate. Because the problem is, corporate Bahamas been getting away with murder for years. And nobody's talking about them. So let's talk about what's going on now. Because we're talking about murder. God say thou should not murder. And corporate Bahamas been murdering people for years. They've been getting away with murder for years. Now what's this thing? Now Bahamas, if I'm a pharmaceutical company and I plan with the other pharmaceutical companies to shut down, so no pharmacies open, I ain't trying to kill somebody. Let's think about it. Because see, we talking about murder. God said if you want to get into heaven, you should not murder. And I'm telling you that corporate Bahamas been getting away with murder for years. And if I'm a pharmaceutical company, the hypocrisy is I'm supposed to be saving lives. But if I plan to shut my doors, I ain't trying to kill somebody. Let's use common sense, Bahamas. Bahamas, think about it like this. If a bunch of pharmaceutical companies say we ain't gonna give y'all no medicine, and they plan this, that don't sound like premeditated murder to you? Come on, child, please. I tell you, going to work today. I gotta warm y'all up first though. In fact, you know what? Some people would be mad about this pharmaceutical company situation. So I can talk with the pharmacies. The grocery prices would kill you. I lie. The food prices would kill you, Bahamas. The food prices alone. I tell you, corporate Bahamas been getting away with murder for years. Let's talk with the food prices. Bahamas. Now, I get 3 children. I always tell you that. I get 3 of them. I get a feed. 3 of them. Bahamas. Why the baby food? I can put a picture up here because I've been buying this baby food for years. Why the baby food say for export only, cannot be sold in the United States? Somebody tell me that. See, it's one thing when the oats say it can't be sold in the United States. It's one thing when the Lucky Charms can't be eaten in the United States. But when the baby food say it cannot be consumed in the United States, what that mean? I can tell you what that mean. That mean if you go to the United States with the same kind of baby food, they can lock you up like you selling drugs. Don't bring this back in their country. And not, let me bring this one home for you. I can talk to the men, because this one is a sensitive subject. Men, suppose your wife cooks Sunday dinner, big Sunday dinner, and then she don't want to eat none. And you look at her and you say, sweetie, eat some of the food. And she said, I ain't eating none of that. You can eat that food? Well, that's what the situation is. All these inferior products they bringing in this country, killing us. It ain't the bullets that killing people. It's heart trouble, it's diabetes, it's all obesity, all the rest of the stuff that's going on. And contaminated food. Stop playing. So anyway, the first form of hypocrisy is that. And what's that? The murder rate. What comes second? Let me continue. I say talking too much. I'm trying to get to talk about our Haitian brothers and sisters. But I got to point out the hypocrisy, Bahamas. So what's the second thing now? Thou should not commit adultery. Oh boy. Now, Bahamas. If Jesus tell a Bahamian man, thou should not commit adultery. Thou should not commit adultery. And if you commit adultery, you're going to hell. Well, buddy, that's 50% us. We done. Come on. We score less sweetheart in Bahamas. Let me show you how bad this is. Now, picture this, because I know this can happen. This is a movie. In heaven, it could be a long line of Bahamian men. And this is how you know they're Bahamian men. Because you can hear them saying, boy, They can say boy. Now, when you see a long line of Bahamian men and they saying boy, and this is what they can be saying, boy, you know sweetheart was adultery. And then the next one can say, boy, you sure? But I didn't know that, boy. That's how you can know it's a bunch of Bahamian men. And all of them scared because they should say, boy, I didn't know sweetheart was adultery. That's how serious this one is. And let me tell you the hypocrisy at Bahamas. This is the hypocrisy. Because I talk to the Bahamian men now. We gotta stop this crap. Stop doing fool. If you want to go to, if you want to go to heaven, stop doing fool. See, I coming up raw this one. This one I gotta give it to you straight. Stop doing fool. Now listen to this now. The hypocrisy of it. Because God can't stand hypocrites. Hypocrites can't go to heaven. You can't pretend to be a good husband and you out there cheating on your wife, calling her sweetheart, and then when you reach the heaven, you turn to the next dude and say, boy, you didn't know this was adultery. You can't do that. You can't make it to heaven like that. Adulterers will not make it into heaven. That's in the Bible. Go read Corinthians. Adulterers, whoremongers, fornicators, and effeminate can't make it into heaven. I'm sorry. So let me help you with this. This is the hypocrisy of it. When you go talk to a Bahamian man, this is the hypocrisy. Listen to this now. And they sweethearting. You know what they can tell you? I love my wife. Bahamas, I can stay quiet and let that one sit in. Because if that is not the height of hypocrisy, I don't know what is. How you could be cheating on your wife and then go walk around talking about how much you love your wife and you believe that? You's a sociopath. Are you crazy? You gotta be out your mind. How can you walk around cheating on your wife that believe in your own head? Wait, I love my wife. You crazy. The devil is a liar. I've never heard nothing like that. Because God forbid, if that woman go cheat on me, you know, what? You can imagine a Bahamian woman cheating on a Bahamian man. No way. See, that can't go like, all right. So actually, let me add a disclaimer. So let me help this one out. Now, if your husband made a mistake and he cheated and he asked for forgiveness, that's fine. The people I'm talking about when I say sweethearting is or are the people who go out there. They get a hold of the family. They sleep it out the house 3-4 times over the week. I can't respect a man like that. Now, if you made a mistake, you went to the Dominican Republic, you was on the same flight as me, but if you get asked forgiveness for that, God forgive us, it was a one-off. But if you living with one another, if you living with another family, ain't no excuse for that. Because you've accepted that sin, you ain't repentant, and that's what you believe is right. See something wrong with that. You can't claim to love your wife. If you made a mistake, it's one thing. But you can't go ahead of a second family and talk about you love your wife. That's a height of hypocrisy. That don't even make no sense to me. And you'll be a Lord us in heaven, and all us can be saying, boy, I didn't know sweethearting was adultery, dog. Like, I didn't know that. Cause see, you could be in spirit form. It could be a movie. You could just look over there. There'd be a bunch of spirits over there. And the only reason you could know they're Bahamian is because they could be saying, boy, I didn't know that either. That's how you can know. All right, let me move on. Because I'm running out. And I got something important to talk about. I got to get to my Haitian brothers and sisters. So what does it say? But I got to talk with hypocrisy first. Before I could get to that, that's a sensitive subject. I got to talk with hypocrisy in this country. So now, and the Bahamian saith unto Jesus, which commandment? And Jesus said, thou should do no murder. Thou should not commit adultery. Thou should not steal. Now, Bahamas, if thieving, because we don't call it stealing, forgive us, Jesus, we don't call it stealing, we just call it thieving. If thieving is sending you to hell, well, buddy, that's at least 70 to 75% of us. We done. Because I can tell you this right now. It ain't if we is thief in this country. It's what we don't thief. But hold on. Before I get into this, let me say this first. These people is mine. I can call Bahamians thieves. You know why? Because I is Bahamian. So I got to get real Bahamian now. But if you an expat and you watching this, don't never call no Bahamian no thief. Because you will get deported today. I tell you right now. Don't call Bahamians thief. Don't mind me. I Bahamian, them people is mine. I know them long time. You know how the song is going? I know them long time. Them people is mine, buddy. I can call Bahamians thief because I know my people. But you, if you in this country and you a foreigner and you were invited here Don't call a Bahamian no thief because you will get deported. So don't follow behind me. Don't mind me. I can call my own people what I want because they're my people. But you don't call the people no thief. Now let me get back to what I was saying. All right. So back to thiefing. Let me tell you the hypocrisy with thiefing in the Bahamas. Because we come from a long time, from bootlegging to pirating to rum running to drug smuggling to drugs. Listen to me. We done did it all. Slavery, we was thieving people. Stop playing. We was thieving people from other countries. So we can thief. There's one thing we can do is thief. But this is the hypocrisy of it. The hypocrisy of it in this country is that while we can thief any and everything, including people, we just give away our most precious possessions. We just give away our children. You know how much children out there calling Grammy mommy? Grammy is the new mommy because they see Grammy more than they see their parents. Come on, Bahamas. I won't tell lies. Bahamas, if we can talk about hypocrisy in this nation, we got to say the truth. The hypocrisy of it all is we would thief everything but give away the most precious stuff to us. What do you give away when you give away your children? God said, blessed is the fruit of the womb. So if you give away your children, you're giving away your blessing. So you stealing your own blessing. We would steal our own blessing from us. Because blessed is the gift. So instead of giving our children our time, we would give them to their grandparents. Come on. How much fathers out there give their child to their mother? They don't even see the children. They give it away. They say, wait, you as the mom, go take care of these children. I don't want to see them. That same power go to the work and thief every single thing on that building. Like I say, expats don't talk with my people. I can tell you right now. I feel some type of way about that. You get deported. Only me can talk about them. But let's get back to the subject. Now, the power go to work and thief everything out that building, including the time. You can't even see him on the job. He thief for the time. But hold on now. But when it comes to his children, the most precious thing he got, he give it away. How you can thief things you can't carry to heaven, but give away the most precious thing? That makes sense. And watch this. Let me tell you the hypocrisy of all this. This is the real hypocrisy. We just get mad at the government. So we got a government who would thief everything. I mean, there ain't nothing the government wouldn't thief. Come on, let's be real. The government would thief a trip to Disney World. Come on, they thieving the money and going to Disney World. 77 of them, I don't know, a bunch of them going to Dubai, going to Disney World. They thieving the money to go to Disney World. So we got a government who would thief just to go to Disney World because they want to take trips. Mr. Davis and the rest of them, they want to take trips. And that's fine. He won't go to Disney World. Let the man go to Disney World. So he thieved the money to go to Disney World, right? But listen good. But then we give away all our natural resources. We give away the sun, the sea to the Chinese. We give away banking to the Canadians. We give away all our best corporations to the United States. In fact, we give away our culture. We no longer a Christian nation. We following behind them and bringing in all of the lottery, bringing in alcoholism, we bringing in, what else we bringing in? We trying to legalize drugs. We trying to bring in homosexuality. So we allowing them to steal everything from us. We just giving it away. We giving away who we are. But yet, we would thief a trip to Disney World? That don't make no sense. And then us, who giving away our own children, blame the government. How we can point the finger at the government and we giving away our own children? Come on, it don't make sense. It don't make sense. It goes back to what Jesus said. Jesus said, you hypocrites. First take the speck or the beam of your own eye, and then you can take the speck out your brother's eye. So I can't take the speck out the government eye and say, government, stop giving away the natural resources. If I giving away my natural resource, which is my children, the fruit of my womb, and I ain't taking care of them, that don't make no sense. A bunch of hypocrites. All right, Bahamas. Let's continue. I feel like talking too much. I run out of time. That's why it can be a part 2. It gotta be a part 2. I got a lot to say on this. Because we a bunch of hypocrites cross. I gotta go deep on this one. I gotta go deep on this. And like I said, this is the news before the news. Bahamas, they give me back the 6:30 spot. They should have never given us it back. Never. Now we stuck. You know, they say when it's up, then it's up. So we stuck right here. We ain't moving from here. This is the spot. All right, so listen now. What else does it say? It says, and Jesus saith unto him, which he saw. So he said unto Jesus, which commandment? And Jesus said, thou shalt not do murder. We cover that. Corporate Bahamas been murdering people for years, been getting away from murder. We're getting away with murder. Thou shalt not commit adultery. But you know how that sweetheart thing go. Come on, the hypocrisy of it all. You love your wife, but yet you get a sweetheart. That makes sense. All right. Thou should not steal. The hypocrisy of that. We will steal everything that can move. Every single thing that can get out that company, except for the desk can move, but the chair can go. But yet we give away our own children. Don't make sense. We give away the most precious thing we got, but we steal everything else. And what's the next one? Thou should not bear false witness. Bahamas, I did. This one I did because of false witness. If bearing false witness mean gossiping, that's 100%. That's 100% of the population. 100% of us going to hell. If bearing false witness mean you gossiping on people, that's 100% of the population. That's why God said none is good. No, not one. Everybody's in need of prayer and pray constantly. Don't stop praying. Because if gossiping is bearing false witness, which it is, then 100% of us going to hell. We might as well just pack our bags now. Because remember now, all these things God is saying, if you want to get in the pearly gates, you got to stop doing fool. And what's foolishness? God laid out for us. I'm going through all these for my people. Because I don't want you to die for a lack of knowledge. So now let's talk about gossiping. Now, Bahamas, this the hypocrisy and gossiping. You know what the hypocrisy is? The hypocrisy is this. I will never understand how people who got children is gossip about other people's children. Don't make any... See, I can talk about a lot of stuff. I can talk about the government. I can laugh at a lot of people. But I ain't gonna laugh and talk about nobody children. Because, buddy, I get children. And I don't know what them children out there doing. I don't know what they could do. So one thing I can never do is point my crooked finger at nobody's children, buddy. That's off topic. My wife like to gossip. And every time she bring up somebody's child, I say, I ain't going to hell for that. If there's one thing I ain't gonna do is heap coals on my own children head. By talking with some other people's children, I can never do that. Don't tell me about nobody's children. You know what? In fact, let me go deeper with this one. Forget the children because that's a sensitive topic. I just get upset. But listen to this now. The hypocrisy of gossiping. Because I can tell you what you like to gossip about. People husband. But you ever notice about how people who ain't got no husband can talk about other people's husband? Bahamas, that makes sense to you. That's the height of hypocrisy. You ain't got no husband and you want to judge me? And you ain't got no husband or you ain't see your husband? That don't even make no sense. You know what? Let me get off of this one. If I talk about gossiping, I might as well just stop the episode right here and talk about gossiping. Gossiping take us all. I gotta reach the part about our Haitian people. So let me continue on. And what else did he say? Verse 19. Honor thy father and mother, and thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself. So let's talk about honoring thy father and mother. Now, Bahamas, is it possible that the children can be hypocrites? Let's talk about this. Because see, if I do the math, over 50% of Bahamian households are single parent families. So now we try to talk about honoring father and mother. And let's keep it real. Bahamas, this one you gotta be honest with. If honoring your father and mother is to celebrate now, right? Think about it like this. When we celebrate Mother's Day, that's like Christmas. You always know it's Mother's Day. Just like how you know when it's Christmas, because it's the parties, the festivities, buddy, you can know it's Mother's Day. You go to the restaurant packed, you can't get in. You know it's Mother's Day when it's Mother's Day. So if celebrating Mother's Day is like celebrating Christmas, then, buddy, celebrating Father's Day is like celebrating a Tuesday. And I be serious now. Because Tuesdays is one of them days where you can't remember what you do. Yeah, let me tell you something. Monday, you just work hard on Monday. And Friday, you better don't mess up my Friday because that's happy hour. I know exactly what I'm doing on Friday. But Tuesday, think about it. Think about last week Tuesday. Or think about this week Tuesday. You can remember what you did. You can't remember what you do on Tuesday. Unless you get in a car accident, you can't remember what you do on Tuesday. Well, that's Father's Day. They celebrate Father's Day like a Tuesday, buddy. I can't remember. Beats, I don't know. Listen to me. It's so bad. You get some children out there who celebrate Halloween before they celebrate Father's Day. Come on, I ain't cracking those. I be serious. They upset about this. But what's the hypocrisy of all this? Let's talk about the hypocrisy. The hypocrisy is the children can say, you know what? I don't celebrate Father's Day because my father wasn't there. Well, buddy, if your father wasn't there, then how the heck you get here? Clearly he was there. For you to be here talking about you don't celebrate Father's Day, he had to be there. And if somebody came to me and said, Daniel, if your father could be there one time in your life for you, when would you have wanted him to be there? I say, I want him to be there exactly when he was there. At the time, of consummation. That's like, listen to me, if I don't see him no more after that, that's fine. Because he was there at the most important time. See that one call over, God don't make mistakes. He was there when he needed to be there. And here I am. Because if he wasn't there at that time, I wouldn't be here. So clearly the man was there. So I say all this to say this. Don't be a hypocrite. If your father trying to reach out for you, he wasn't there when you was young, he trying to reach out to you now, stop freaking yourself out. Or what God say, stop doing fool. You can find fool in the Bible. I ain't cursing God in the Bible. You can find fool. God said, a fool saith in their heart, there's no God. So stop doing fool, because they talking behemoth. Now let's get to my Haitian brothers and sisters. I only got 3 minutes left, but I have a part 2 to this. That's why I don't mind only having 3 minutes left. Now watch this, Bahamas. It says, honor thy father and mother. And the last commandment, this is the most important one. And thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself. Well, mother's sick. Now, Bahamas, if it's one of these commandments, I talked about a lot just now. But if it's one commandment I can send you to hell, is this one. Because God said the 2 greatest commandments are these. Love the Lord thy God with all your heart, all your mind, all your body, and all your soul. And the second is likened unto it. Love your neighbor as yourself. Now I'm putting up a map. Now, Bahamas, could it be that Haiti is our neighbor and we think we better than Haitians? Let's talk about this. I can take my time on this one. You got a neighbor right above us who looking down on us. The United States, they look down on us. The United States has come out and called us a third world country. Now, explain this to me. Let me tell you the hypocrisy in that. Let's talk about the United States for a minute who's looked down on us. Now, the United States is called us a third world country. Yet they're committing genocide every year. They are aborting millions of babies. Let me tell you something about the United States. How the United States can call us a third world country. The hypocrisy in this now. When the most dangerous place in the United States is not the projects. Don't listen to the Hollywood movies. The most dangerous place in the United States is not the ghettos. The most dangerous place in the United States is not a black man standing in front of a white police officer with a gun. That's not the most dangerous place. The most dangerous place in the United States is the womb. Imagine that. The most dangerous place for you to be in the United States is in your mother's belly, because that's where they murder people with impunity. And they can look down on us. That's the third world country. Or they the 4th, the 5th, the 6th, the 7th, the 8th, the 10th. I don't know, but I know they're above us. It's impossible. If you murdering babies, how you could be better than us? All right, stop talking about them. Now let's talk about the other neighbors. Could it be that the country is looking up to us now, this Haiti? Because God said, what you do for the least of these, you done it for me. Could they be our neighbor? And if they're our neighbor, do we love them as ourselves? How you can think you better than the Haitians? Let me change this graph. Let me help you to understand why it's impossible for you to be better than any Haitian. Listen to me and listen to me good. Picture a slave ship. Picture a slave ship coming through the Caribbean. And let me tell you the only difference between us is that you had the colonizers or the slave owners or the slave buyers in the Bahamas. They were British, so they spoke English. The colonizers or the slave buyers in Haiti were French, so they spoke French. That's why Haitians speak Creole. They speak French, broken French. The colonizers or the slave traders in Cuba, they were Spanish. So Cubans speak Spanish. So you have the slave ship coming through. And the only difference between us and the Haitians was that the group of Africans they dropped in the Bahamas were lucky. Because if the English slave traders wanted some more, then you wouldn't end up in Haiti. You see how that worked? But for those who didn't get purchased from the British slave owners, they end up in Haiti. What you talking about? All us was on the same ships. The same slave ships bring all us here. And we just get dropped off at different places. Bahamas, the only difference between us is that we speak different languages because of where we get dropped off. Come on. Because of where we were purchased and we think we better than them. Listen to me. If Russia and if Germany wasn't so busy taking over Europe, then guess what? It could have been Russians who've been down there in Haiti, and Haitians would have been speaking Russian. And instead of the English having us, it could have been the Germans, and we would have been speaking Germans. Those would have been the slave masters. So if all of us come here by boat, the same boat, we just get dropped off in different locations. How you could think you better than them? See that one call over. That's the height of hypocrisy. All of us come from the same place, the port called the Cattle Block. That one called over Bahamas, but it's a part 2 to this. Next week, it gotta be a part 2 to this. I can finish this one off for you. Because see, I just starting on talking about the Haitian people and how bad we treat them. That we a bunch of hypocrites. So God, pray that you may bless us, God, protect us, and help us to not be hypocrites to Heavenly Father. Because hypocrites can't enter into heaven. That's impossible. In Jesus Christ's name we pray. Amen.